Okay, folks, thanks very much for coming. Just please, a quick reminder to turn off your cell phone so we don't have any nasty interruptions. Today we're joined by several people, 5 of whom will have opening statements, and then we'll take your questions. The people who will be speaking in the opening statements are Claudette Comanda, Martin Louie, Chief Allan Adam, Phillip Lane Jr., and Sundance Chief Ruben George. And the floor is yours.
Greetings, good morning to everyone. My name is Claudette Comanda. I am a Kitagan-Zibi Algonquin First Nation member, and I'm very honored to be here to welcome my brothers and sisters from across Turtle Island. I welcome them, and to all of you, to unsurrendered Algonquin land. Chimigwej, Chimigwej.
Good morning. Chief Allan Adam from the Athabasca Chippewan First Nation in Alberta. You know, we stand here today in solidarity in regards to the Northern Gateway Pipeline and also to the XL Keystone. And the majority of the oil that's going to be shipped down those pipelines are going to be coming from our traditional territories in the tar sands region. And therefore, with the impacts that we're enduring in our area from the development that is happening, we could understand that the major implications that are going to occur within the traditional territories of the affected route that the pipeline's going in will have tremendous environmental or ecological damages to the area, and the people that are going to be suffering the most are going to be the First Nations people that are on that route. So therefore, you know, we come together and we show solidarity with the people. And then when you talk about yesterday when Minister Oliver announced about their special envoy in regards to dealing with First Nation issues, you know, the chief negotiator that was appointed to this envoy, and in my belief, he probably has no credibility when it comes dealing with First Nation issues, because we've been negotiating with Canada on other issues for the last 20 years, and he's supposed to be chief negotiator to settle all these claims, but we continue on moving in that direction. So therefore, you know, I don't think he carries too much weight behind his back, and if Minister Oliver is sincere about the fact that he takes First Nations issues into consideration because of the fact that the knowledge that we carry about our lands is heartwarming, but then it carries no weight because we've been dealing with Minister Oliver on a lot of issues, and he will not hear our issues. So therefore, I don't think he could bring credibility to other First Nations' ability to gear towards approving this project, and therefore we stand in that area to solidarity to go against what Minister Oliver has stated.
My name is Phil Lane Jr. I'm one of the hereditary chiefs of the Ottawa, Dakota. And first of all, I want to give thanksgiving to Prime Minister Harper and the government here in Canada, as well as to those that are trying to bring Keystone XL to the United States, because through their actions of injustice, they're bringing together the greatest uprising and unity between Indigenous people since colonization began. And the treaty, international treaty to protect the sake from tar sands projects, what was signed here, the Save the Fraser River Declaration, which is the largest unity between Indigenous people in this hemisphere at this time, are going to stop these pipelines one way or the other. Whether or not they sign or don't sign for this to go forward, Indigenous people are coming together with many, many allies across the United States and Canada, and we will not allow these pipelines to cross our territories in these tankers to destroy our rivers and oceans. How mi taki asi lumi chante wa stelo shukmano he meyedo chinupasapa he meyedo ho.
Good morning. Chief Martin Louie from Nadleh Whut'en First Nations. We came here, as we did years ago, when Enbridge first came to our land. our water, our land, the air was at stake. And that's what our people live on for the last hundreds of years. We've seen the destruction it had on the tar sand, and that's where the crude oil is coming from for Enbridge across our lands. We have animals, we have fish that we believe the Creator put us here to protect. And the governments of Canada or BC cannot protect the environment properly. So this is where the First Nations people of Canada is standing up to protect everything for everybody. First Nations, even the children of every government official, everybody in the world, water is our last resource that we're going to be destroying. And we're going to stand up to protect that, no matter what it takes. You guys put reviewed panels in front of us and everything like that, which does not recognize us. If Canada wants to do business with First Nations, or they have to recognize us legally, recognize our rights, our title to the land. They've been stealing from us for the last 200 years. We're people, we share things. We allow this to happen. Now they're going to destroy our land. We're not going to let that happen. So I thank Enbridge, all the people around, I thank them for doing what they've done. They united the greatest nation in the whole world, the United States and the Canadian First Nations. We're the ones that's going to save whatever we have left of this earth. This is the last place we have fresh water too. And there's not very much fresh water left on earth. And everybody knows that. The scientists knows that. And yet we still carry on destroying things. And we're going to stand up and protect no matter what it takes. If we have to keep going to court, we'll keep doing that. It doesn't matter what the government does. They're always attacking our rights and title through their law, Canadian law. But we still stand strong together, and we're never going to back down to protect the land, the water, and the air for the future of our kids and your kids and the children of the world. After we're gone, we have to leave something for them. That's what our Creator and our ancestor told us. You save something for the people to come. Don't destroy it. I thank you.
ACM, HCM. My name is Ruben George of Tsleil Nation, North Vancouver, British Columbia. You know, first and foremost, what I'd like to say is it's not just a First Nation problem, our environmentalist problem. It's all of our problem. We as a nation have to wake up to the crazy decisions that this government's making to change the world in a negative way. I stand here in solidarity with my relatives from the south, from the Dakotas up to the Yinkadene and 160 nations that signed the Fraser Declaration. Stand together in solidarity to say no. Because the leaders of Enbridge and the owners of Enbridge and Kinder Morgan and the other tar sand companies, because they're too blind to see because of their greed, because the government's too blind to see because of their need to produce and they're too blind because of their greed. We're going to do it for them. We're going to stop it for them, for their future generations. We believe our land is sacred, just like how they may believe and love the relationships of the people that they love. We have the same feeling for our lands and for our waters, and we want to protect the sacred, and we'll do it for them. we'll do it for our nation. And what we hope, actually what we know and what we're counting on is our nation of Canada to wake up and say no more to this destruction, because there's alternatives. There's alternatives to Tsleil Nation. We sell and we manufacture wind turbines. You know, there's green energy alternatives that we could change. And Canada has of ways to change the $1.6 billion subsidies that our government gives to fossil fuel companies. That would be a good step to direct that towards green energy alternatives. And we really believe in partnerships, not only with us as First Nations, but as people of Canada, that really to step forward and say no more. And that's why I'm here, to stand in solidarity with all my relatives here that are already saying no. So thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now move to questions, beginning with Margo McDermott of CBC TV.
I could just maybe ask this question to Allan, Adam, and Ruben George. Essentially, the government has said that these projects are crucial to the economy, and it is throwing a lot of money, a lot of energy, a lot of attention on getting at least one of the pipelines, Keystone and potentially Enbridge, approved and passed and going. So how are you going to fight that? I mean, you've got the entire weight and the resources of the federal government potentially against you. How do you fight it?
Well, there are economies that it's known as the fact that in countries that want leaning towards green energy alternatives, that their economies are doing better. CCPA just released the green energy job research that they have done that shows that there are more jobs, green energy jobs, to fossil fuel jobs. So you know, this is just one step. This is just one step, but you know, it's something that's going to take time to go off our addiction of fossil fuels. But we need to start making these decisions now, because you know, in a world today where 30,000 people a day are dying of starvation, where the world produced 1/5 less wheat in the world, you know, our world's suffering, and this is a step that we're coming together to say no.
When you talk about how you're going to stop these major projects in regards to moving forward, we as First Nations people have a lot of authority when it comes dealing with traditional territories. And the government of Canada knows it, and the provincial government is quite aware of it. And that's why there is more talk about getting the First Nations on this economic strategy plan. But this economic strategy plan does not take into consideration the major damages that is going to be caused out in the environmental spectrum. So therefore, the First Nations people will come together in regards to raising the issue. It's just a matter of time when Canadians are going to realize that we have a crisis that's playing out here, and we are situated downstream from the tar sands. The tar sands is one of the world's largest industrial component that's driving this whole economic strategy here in Canada. So therefore, you know, we have a lot of issues at stake, and therefore Canada has to come to the table and say, what is it that we really after in regards to moving forward? Well, the one issue that we have is that when is it going to be sustainable? Where is the sustainable development that's going to occur where we would be able to protect future generations to come? When are we going to start looking at the Enhancement Act on environmental issues? And why is that the scientists are walking away from this